Man, the Miami Heat, once again, they come out and they come with a bang, making big moves this offseason in free agency, and now it seems like, once again, they're one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference and may have a chance to go to the NBA Finals. In this video today, we're discussing how the Miami Heat improved overnight. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. The Miami Heat, man, once again coming out with a bang in this offseason, making big moves and not even being in the luxury tax. So this year for the Miami Heat, they make some big moves. But first off, what I really want to talk about in the beginning is that the Miami Heat, as we all know, this season really did disappoint us all. Just last season, 10 months ago, 11 months ago, the Miami Heat were in the NBA Finals against the Lakers, and they put up a pretty good performance. Jimmy Butler definitely proved that he was still more than capable of being one of the best players in the entire NBA. But now, this season, the Miami Heat totally did the exact opposite. Tyler Hero struggled this year. Jimmy Butler struggled this year. Bam Adebayo took a big leap up, but for the most part, the Miami Heat really didn't make any big moves. They got Victor Oladipo, and, well, we all know the talent he has, but he's definitely suffered from injuries, which has held him back over these last few years. And, of course, that offseason, when the Heat came back from the NBA Finals, they lost Jay Crowder and they lost Derrick Jones Jr. And both those guys were very significant pieces for this Miami Heat team, and they replaced that with Avery Bradley and Precious Achiuwa, if I pronounce his name correctly. And they definitely weren't the best pieces for that team. So coming into this next season for this Miami Heat team, it's going to be much different because, well, they got a really good name in Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry, as well know, he's still a guy who just seems to get better with age. He's just still playing at a very high level. He had a really good year for the Raptors last year, and we all know what he's going to provide. He's going to provide that championship DNA because he's won an NBA championship. He's been far in the NBA playoffs in general. And he's just going to definitely help the development of guys like Bam Adebayo, who I believe is going to take a huge step up this season in his game because, well, the other guys like Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, those guys are getting older in age. They're not getting any younger. And they're going to be big parts of that team in their future, though. Those younger guys in their development. But re-signing Jimmy Butler is the thing that they did. And they also re-signed Duncan Robinson, who was another huge piece of one of the best shooters in the entire NBA, re-signing him back as well. They're able to sign PJ Tucker, and PJ Tucker is a 3 and a somewhat D player. I mean, he's a great perimeter defender. He's one of the best in the league. We all know what he's capable of doing, especially against some of the best players in the entire NBA. But what he provides is that defense and that corner three-point shooting, and we know what he can do. We also know that Markieff Morris is going to be another great wing player for this Miami Heat team. And this team overall, man, they, on paper, they've gotten better. They didn't lose Kendrick Nunn and Goran Dragic. And those two guys were definitely big pieces, especially Goran Dragic on this Miami Heat team. But they needed to do this to make this team better. And I believe that this Miami Heat team, against all the other Eastern Conference teams, are definitely going to be a really good team. The Milwaukee Bucks obviously is going to the NBA Finals. They have that championship experience, so I expect that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be even better next year. I think that this team is still going to be a big threat, but I believe that the Miami Heat are definitely in that picture as well. And if you look at the Eastern Conference in general, the whole Eastern Conference has improved. I think the Eastern Conference is way better now than the Western Conference. I believe that this was only going to become because, well, these younger teams in the Eastern Conference were developing and they were growing as players. And we've seen this with the Atlanta Hawks this year going to the NBA playoffs and making it all the way to the conference finals on Trae Young's first year, even making it to. And you have younger teams like the Pistons who are going to improve, and I believe they're going to be bright. You have the Hornets. The Eastern Conference is loaded with young, amazing talent, and it's only going to get better. So looking at the East and what all they provide, man, it's going to be really fun and entertaining this year to watch all these teams battle. Especially now that you have the Miami Heat who've gotten better this offseason. And I believe that the Heat, just like any other team, are going to be in that mix. They're going to be in that mix, and they can possibly go back to the NBA Finals when you look at all the talent they have on their team, especially with Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is going to take that big step up in his game. They have Jimmy Butler, who we all know, I hope has a much better season compared to how he did this year, especially in the playoffs. He definitely did not live up to the expectation, especially the way he played last year in the playoffs. But I mean, looking at this Miami Heat team overall, they've made really big moves. But, you know, really one of the best things that is really going to help this team out if they all can stay healthy throughout the season. Victor Oladipo is hopefully coming back, of course, and we want him to be healthy this year on this Miami Heat team because, you know, he signed to a minimum contract anyway. So the Miami Heat got him off of, you know, a big steal, but still we have to see how he actually plays this season. We have to see how healthy all these guys can be. And, you know, Lowry, comparing him to Goran Dragic, yes, I think Kyle Lowry is a much better player, and he's going to be an upgrade for this Miami Heat team. But health definitely on this team will matter, especially we look at the guys they have on their roster. But overall, this team, they have gotten better. They definitely were not settling, especially this season, and they wanted to improve their roster. And they can definitely be a threat in the Eastern Conference. They are, on paper, they have a pretty good roster. But there's definitely going to be so much talent in this Eastern Conference that it's going to be hard for them to compete out still with all the talent that the East has, and especially with these younger teams growing and getting better. And we still don't know what the Philadelphia 76ers will do with Ben Simmons. So we're going to definitely see many more things that's going to happen possibly this offseason with trades and whatnot. But overall, looking at the Miami Heat, they definitely improved their roster this season. And I'm looking forward to see how they play this upcoming season. I believe that on paper, this team, they look good if they can stay healthy, especially Victor Oladipo. He can provide a really huge plus for this team, especially if Tyler Hero has a much better year this year. And of course, with the development of Bam Adebayo, this Heat team is going to be really good. I hate that they lost Kendrick Nunn. He was really a great player for this team, but it was only for the better because of the amount of depth that this team already had. There's really no point of even having him on the roster anymore. But hopefully this Heat team has a much better year this year, and that they can make it much further in the playoffs, and I believe that they will. But I hope you guys enjoyed this brief video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every week. Have a good day. Peace.